I've criticized developers for their lazy attitude and lack of effort put in every update, or even patch, how unresponsive the PR team are, and so on. But that's not today. Okay, well, let's start with a recap for the second update of the year. A new tutorial is being added, which this video is mostly dedicated to. Then we have a new library system, which is, well, a pretty decent update over the old one. And finally, we got Ark's premium currency, and for that one there will be a dedicated video, so check the link in the description for that one once it's out. And that's it. So yeah, you can tell that there's very little coming to Elite, not only now, but for this year. And for a game that has trained its audience to expect quarterly updates with big things like the live service game that it is, it can be quite disappointing to see how this year's been handled. But you know what? I did say that there's something different in this update. The new tutorial is actually good. Yes, I actually used the word good, so it must be incredible by any other mortal standards. Well, some would imply that. Anyways, so what makes this new iteration of tutorials so good? If you ever played the old one, yes, it had voice acting, but it was broken up in segments, which allowed you to pick whichever part you wanted to relearn. But that's the issue. That's why you have challenge scenarios, not the tutorial. See, tutorial should be one long introductory thing about the game that is not broken up constantly by menus. Oh, and the fact that now you also have blinking UI elements to show what the player should be concentrating when the narrator is talking about something is also a sign of good introductory setup. And then you also get to fly, properly fly, not just go in one direction like in the old tutorial, but maneuver through an actual course of rings. This particularly is a work smart, not hard, where they actually repurposed the CQC rings for this one.
Okay, Yamiks, you're creepy when you like stuff, but isn't this just them stitching all the old tutorials together and adding blinking UI? Is this what constitutes good for you?
Yes. See, my standard of good is not in the amount of tasteless but fresh slop that is given to me, but in the actual quality of it. For example, for a long time I've been saying that I'd much rather have a whole year of nothing but quality of life and balance pass updates than new features, just to get the game up to that good standard. I mean, when you see a new thing added, when it's big or small, when it's as broken as multicrew, how can you say that's a good thing? Oh, just because you got a lot of it? Well, come on. I don't care how massive or amazingly intricate the new thing is. What I want to see is developers showing me that they put in effort with this new thing through actually having it work, having it be smart, having it be interesting, not just new. It can be an old thing like the tutorial. This is the second most, dare I say, exciting thing I've ever waited in Elite. The fact that this is designed well and does not break if you don't follow the script, like the old tutorial did, is pretty much enough for me to declare it good. So, good job, B-Team. You did well for this part of the game. It really needed this. Thank you. And yes, I know it's not a high bar, cause gods know all Space Sims tutorials are massive piles of dildo compost. But hey, Elite at least stands out as good, but short tutorial.
Oh, come on, Yamiks, Elite is 6 years old. Why do we need that tutorial? It was waste of time!
No, that's wrong. First off, polishing and improving a part of your game is never a waste of time if done efficiently. But it's more so about the 2020 and the new console generation that is coming, which is why we need a new and better tutorial, and fixing it right now is probably one of the smartest things you can do. For the few developers who are working currently on the updates, and let me say it again, well done! Even if this move was motivated by a corporate cynicism. And now for the following updates, all I can say is just please keep improving the tutorial. One thing I can easily see you can do is add more story. Many games, in fact, while introducing them to you through tutorial, often use snippets of the lore and the narrative of the game itself to not only showcase how to play, but also show and tell about its world, its universe. It has been done and it must be done. So please, more story in the tutorial. One could even say that it's a perfect exposition vehicle. Many puns intended. Oh god, what is wrong with me? After that tutorial is done, how about this? Once a new player spawns, they get that first delivery mission. Use that to chain into 3 more following missions. 1 for each category of the gameplay: exploration, combat, and trade. Basically, use the already existing in-game tools, i.e. chain mission system, to further introduce the player to both the mechanics of each gameplay and maybe a little bit more story? Please? Also, reward the player with some nice things by completing those follow-up missions, like in No Man's Sky, where you basically just by following the story missions you get a new ship, a jump drive, a new weapon, and even a massive freighter. So encourage your players not only to do the tutorial because it shows how to play the game, but also because it gives you good stuff. So everyone's happy. Also, more story. Regardless, the cynic in me tells me that I'm wasting my time giving this advice to developers that don't care about its community. But guess what? This tutorial shows me that there's still at least someone in there that cares. So I'm talking to you, my good developers who made this tutorial. Keep working on this. This game desperately needs your wonderful touch. But so now generally that's about it on the update. Hey, in the off chance you are new to Elite, or even old, I do recommend you taking a look at the new tutorial, at least to just give it a shot. And hey, maybe suggest something interesting that you yourself would like to see Elite explain about itself, within itself, as in, tutorial. But as for me, well, I'm off to replay this thing once more to see what I else can come up with. But in the meantime, feel free to share the video and all that wonderful stuff. And if you're new, welcome to Elite. Prepare for grinding.